All right, everyone, if you're joining really quickly in here, if you saw the alert for the go live, we are going live. So we just started up seconds ago at this point, and we'll wait for everyone to kind of plug in here if they would like to. And I'll try to move this chat box off to the side a little bit so that it doesn't really bother anybody. But good evening to all of you who are popping on at this point. Pretty eventful day today. I mean, really eventful day. So if you do pop in, say something so that I know that you're here, and we'll get started really quickly after we get enough people plugging in. Hey, how are you doing? Good evening. Riding with the animal. Good evening to you. I like the cup of coffee and smiley face with the sunglasses. Hello. Jordan Path, good evening to you. Queen Fatima, good evening. Caitlin, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I mean, at least if we're in the United States of America, I'm sure if you guys are on the West Coast, it's still pretty nice and sunny out there. But if you're on the East Coast, the sun is down. Yes, God bless all of you as well. Definitely. Hi from California. Yep. So it's nice and sunny out in Cali right now, I'm sure. All right. Good evening to you all. So here's the deal. We're going to kind of pop into things really quickly. Today was a really eventful day. Okay. So one of the things about being a Dogecoin holder is, you have people, they look at their phones all day long, and they're usually looking at TikTok, they're looking at Snapchat. If you are a Dogecoin holder, you're pressing on that app throughout the day, checking up on things. And you know what? At the end of the day, if Dogecoin is pretty volatile, and it is, at least it's entertaining. If not anything, it's entertaining. And today, man, whew, you get your heart sinking. But here's the thing. If you saw the video from earlier that I put out, we already knew and expected the possibilities. And that's a part of what I want to talk to you about today. I actually wrote down a few things. If you saw the video from today, I started highlighting what the worst case scenario was, and I did it on the live stream yesterday as well. And I want to say that it was the worst case scenario, okay? You need to be prepared. If you're in any crypto asset, you need to be prepared for the worst case scenario. If you're not prepared for that, you ever see those shows about people who are in security, law enforcement, one of first responders, military, if anyone here is from the military, one of the first things they'll do when they come into an environment that's unfamiliar to themselves is they'll look around and they'll take assessment of their surroundings. And they'll look for the emergency exits, they'll look for the windows, they'll look for the doors, and they'll actually look around at the people. And they'll try to figure out, okay, who's around me? Who looks suspicious? Who doesn't? Who's got a family? Where do helpful people look like? And they'll take assessment of their entire surroundings. And then they plan for worst case scenario. What if something goes on? Where am I going to go to? Now, how often does worst case scenario happen? Not often, but sometimes it does. And so when it comes to investing in digital assets, because they're so volatile and because Doge is so new, I mean, we're getting into Doge. I'm not saying ground floor. Ground floor would have been 8 months ago, 9 months ago when it was super low, even longer than that, if you really wanted to get in really early. But we're still ground floor here. It's volatile. We need to be prepared for worst case scenario. So the video this morning or this afternoon was about worst case scenario. And that would be this, that Bitcoin leads the entire crypto asset market on a downward trend. And you will see, let me flip over to Bitcoin here. You will see that happen if, I'll leave the comments off for a second, if Bitcoin begins to continue to drop down. And I mean, it gets below 30,000 and it continues to plummet past 29, 28, 27. If it does that and it enters into what they would call a bear crypto asset market, it will hit, worst case scenario, 15,000. If possible, 14,000, 13,000, in that area. It's not going to go much lower than that, though. If Bitcoin does that, it will drag the entire crypto market with it, because this is the whale of the entire market. You've heard of whale investors. This is the whale crypto asset, and it will drag down the entire market with it. So the thing with Dogecoin, though, is whenever Dogecoin sees a move from Bitcoin, it gets spooked a lot easier than the other crypto assets, like, well, not all of them, but Ethereum for sure doesn't get spooked as much because Ethereum's got some stronger holders to it. Doge, so new, it just doesn't. So the falls are pretty steep with Doge, but the climbacks are really big because the investors who like Doge pump back into it. So that's really nice to see. But if this falls down and it keeps going under 30, worst case scenario, it drags the market down with it. Worst case scenario, Doge, and we don't want to go there. We want to go to this one. Worst case scenario, it brings down Doge to around 20, 19, 17 cents. That is not what we're expecting, okay? And I want to make that clear. That's not what we're expecting. That's worst case scenario. And you need to be prepared for worst case scenario. So look at your exit windows. Look at the people around you who are suspicious. Plan out your route. What is your route, worst case scenario? Your route needs to be this. Doge hits 29 cents. If you have a little extra, put it in. Hits 24 cents, put it in. Hits 19, 18, 17 cents, that's where it's going to stop. It's not going any lower. That's my plan, worst case scenario. But I don't think worst case scenario is going to happen. I really don't. More likely than worst case scenario is not great case scenario, but what's possible is to see Bitcoin jump down below the 30,000 mark. That's a possibility. And you can kind of see it's trending downward again right now. So, this, just because it jumped up like this today doesn't mean we're out. I'm just being honest with you guys. I don't know what other analysts are saying. It just doesn't mean it. If you've been around this market long enough, you just know. And it could go back down. If it dips under 30, I could see it at 28, 29, and then it could have its pull up out of this thing. So that's most likely what will happen. If it dips back down, it probably won't drag the market down entirely, and Doge will probably bottom out at around 24, 25. That's the medium case scenario. Best case scenario is we stick around the 32,000 mark for Bitcoin, and we stick around the 30 to 33 mark for Doge, and it pulls up out of here. Okay? So I just wanted to prepare you for each one of them so you know what's going on. I'm going to talk to you about why this is happening, and because I think that's important. Also, too, just so you know, these live things, I'm going to do these quite often, especially being a teacher. Summer's coming up. One of the best things about being a teacher is summer's off if you want it, and I do take them. I enjoy being with my family in the summer, so I take them off. By the way, misconception, a lot of people think teachers get paid in the summer. We don't. We don't get paid in the summer. We can take some money out of our salary during the regular year and get that in the summer if we want. So that's kind of how you get paid. Unless you have a YouTube channel then, and it gets really big if everyone shares it, that kind of thing. So, all right. Anyway, why is this happening? Why are we seeing these dips? Let me share with you a few things. Number one, I shared this news already. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. I love that they bulk all three of these together. We're always bulked with Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's awesome. 200 billion market sell-off. All right. So if you're seeing the pain, a lot of people are seeing the pain. And then I shared with you that there was speculation that the Department of Justice, DOJ, Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, actually hacked a Bitcoin wallet during their investigation. That did not actually happen. And so because that speculation went out, it spooked a lot of people. In addition, some other really bad news, and this was shared by somebody on my channel before I even knew that Trump said this, but Trump called Bitcoin a scam against the dollar. Now, I'm not necessarily, I'm not a Trump hater, just so you guys know. But I have to tell you, this quote here, him saying Bitcoin, it just seems like a scam, Mr. Trump said. I don't like it because it's another currency competing against the dollar. That is one of the more stupider statements I've ever heard him say. And he's, some people could, if you don't like Trump, then you could pick out a bunch of things that you think that he said that are dumb. But I'm not necessarily not a Trump guy. I mean, Trump likes the United States of America. Yes, he doesn't always say things the right way. But this, I don't like it because it's a currency competing against the dollar. Do you know how many currencies there are in the world? There's 180 currencies in the world. This is just one more. And it's a digital currency. So competing against the dollar? Not really. It's Bitcoin is actually competing a little bit more against gold than the dollar. There's no real competition between Bitcoin and the dollar. They don't even affect each other at all in any way, shape, or form. Just as much as the dollar is affected by the euro, you don't affect each other. The dollar is more affected by printing off trillions of dollars. That's how the dollar is diluted. It's diluted by our own government, not by the creation of another currency. By the way, does Trump know how many digital asset currencies there are out there? There's like thousands of them right now. Bitcoin is one of thousands of them. So, it just seems like a sort of a foolish statement. And this probably spooked a bunch of people with the DOJ announcement as well. And that, along with a possible thinking of a bearish market, is enough to start pulling this kind of craziness. In addition, you do have people who play games with this. They short sell. They try to bring down, buy back in, bring down, buy back in. They're trying to make money off of this. That's why the only real way to make money off of this is to be a long-term holder. If you're not going to be a long-term holder, you're probably going to get hurt. And that's why I'm a long-term holder in Dogecoin, because I know that 3, 4, 5 years from now, that Dogecoin is not going to be 30 cents a share. It simply isn't. 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now, you are going to share with your family that you held Dogecoin and you remembered what it was like, how volatile it was, and it was crazy. And Dogecoin's going to be a thing. They're going to be like, "Are you serious? Like, I'm buying a vacuum off of Amazon with Doge. Are you serious? You had Doge all the way back when it was 30s?" Yeah, I did. That's what we're looking to. That's where you make the gain. That's what we're excited about. Right now we have the volatility, but don't be worried about the volatility. I wanted to mention too, on the chat, I'm going to open up the chat here. I saw myself saying hi a bunch of times yesterday. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was my daughter on the live stream. She actually got my laptop from upstairs and she saw the notification that I was going live for the first time ever. And she started typing in hi over and over and over again. So that's where so if you see me typing, it's actually not me. Where are we going to next, right? I'll try to look at some questions here, if there's any. Just a lot of hellos, and hello to everyone out there. I'm looking at the news. What do you think about Trump? Yeah, that's what I just, kind of went through that. Another stimulus. So Philip Miller, another stimulus. A lot of you are following the stimulus thing. Here's the thing with stimulus. So let me just share this with you guys. A lot of people want to know, am I going to do more stimulus videos? The problem with that is there is not going to be a fourth stimulus. And I've tried to be as blunt. Like, I know people don't like it being blunt about the stimulus thing, and it's called negativity a lot of times. But I would try to lead some of you. If you want to know about stimulus, there are some good people out there who also did stimulus videos, but all the good people who did stimulus videos no longer do them either. None of them do them. The ones, at least, that I'm thinking of in my head. The only ones who are still doing stimulus videos right now are people who are just trying to rack up views on a stimulus that's not going to happen. There's no fourth stimulus. There's no fifth stimulus. There's no recurring payments coming. There's none of that. All data points away from it. And that's the reason why I don't do stimulus videos, because it's not actually going to happen. The only real stimulus that's coming up is the one that's starting July 15th. That's going to be for parents who have children. You're going to start to get monthly checks on the 15th of every month, starting July 15th. So if you have children, if you claim children, you're going to start getting money for them. That's a real stimulus. That's going to happen. But that's from the previous one. They're not planning on putting anything in. And I know these guys keep saying they'll do it, reconciliation and stuff, but they're just not going to do it. Let me see here. What do you think on Biden strengthening crypto regulations? Yeah, that's probably the biggest fear of crypto is what are governments going to start doing about it? I assume that they're going to start to strengthen regulations on crypto because, and again, I always point this out, is a good and a bad. If you see government strengthening regulation as a crypto, it means that they're beginning to accept it as a thing. See, up until now, they've basically been ignoring it. Like, crypto's not real. People aren't going to really use it. People are actually really using crypto. Corporations, companies, businesses, you can buy, MLB tickets with crypto. You can buy NBA tickets with crypto. You can donate to charities with crypto. You can buy hockey tickets now with crypto. There's businesses all over the place. So they're beginning to realize that, so they're going to stop ignoring it, and they're going to start to say, okay, now this is a functional part of real life. So the regulation is both bad and good. It means that our governments are adopting this as a thing, but it also means that now they're going to try to have their hand in the mix, because that's what governments do. Of course, the big thing about crypto assets is they're decentralized. There is no government in charge. There's really even no company in charge. So essentially the people are in charge of it. And the system that was set up by which the crypto asset is mined and distributed, and how much can be. So the regulation is both good and bad. How many stocks are good to hold for long term? I don't know. That's a pretty tough question to answer. I think you should be diversified. I think that's a good idea. If you want to hold a couple of crypto assets, I think that holding Bitcoin is fine. It's not my choice. I would go with, if you want to go with a high priced one, I'd go with Ethereum instead of Bitcoin. I'm a Doge holder. Cardano is pretty cool. Matic is pretty cool. And then of course you can trade stocks too. Just pick really good companies. In for the long haul. So am I. What other cryptos? Just Doge right now. The only other one, I'll be honest with you, I have almost pulled the trigger on a few of them. Not Bitcoin. Ethereum. I still have some money set aside, but here's the problem. Every time I reinvest into Doge. That's the problem. So I've had like probably 10 or 12 times where I've reinvested, and every single time where I wanted to like reinvest into Ethereum, I didn't. I went into Doge. Or I wanted to get some Cardano, I didn't. I went into Doge or Matic. But if I was going to pick those other ones, those are the ones that I would pick. Trump is still talking about the far left and all types of rhetoric. I can't believe there's people where I live still riding around with Trump flags in the back. Yeah. Well, politics is tough because, you're never gonna agree with everyone. There's a lot of people who are listening right now who are big Trump supporters, and there's a lot of people listening right now who are not Trump supporters. And, let me say this. Politicians, I got to be so careful here because I don't want to alienate anybody, but I also don't want to be a part of the cancel culture thing and not say what I think. Politicians are politicians. Most of them are pretty much snakes at the end of the day. Trump wasn't really a politician, and that's kind of what drew a lot of people to him. He definitely was America first for sure. Maybe to a fault. I don't, I guess you can say it's maybe to a fault. It kind of hurt him a little bit because of that. But you have to admit, the media just went after that guy like crazy. Everything he did, he shut down travel to China when the coronavirus was breaking out. And what did the media do? They ripped him apart. They said, "Look at this guy. He's a xenophobe." And he actually did something, and then that's when Nancy Pelosi did what? She went to Chinatown in New York City and started telling people, go out to Chinatown. He's trying to shut down air travel. And he shut down travel to Europe, and they lambasted him for it. He did Operation Warp Speed. There's a reason why there's a vaccine. It's because Trump pumped in billions and billions of dollars into this stuff. And they killed him for it. And then you had the CDC and the World Health Organization telling us that there was no evidence that there was human-to-human transmission, that it could only stay amongst animals. Just so you know, they haven't found one animal yet from that area that actually has this exact virus. That's a problem. But the World Health Organization told us that there's no evidence of human-to-human transmission. They lied. They told us not to wear masks early on. Then they told us to wear masks. Remember when they pushed the ventilators? The ventilators were terrible for people. The ventilators were actually killing people. And then they tell us to double mask, but double masking doesn't work. Then they told us to stay 6 feet away. Then they came out with a new report that staying 6 feet away doesn't do anything. You're 6 feet away, you're 20 feet away, it makes no difference. Then they told us to wear masks outside. Then they came out with a new report that said masks outside don't do anything. These people, I have to be honest with you. You can kind of see me. I'm getting a little worked up about this. These people are terrible. The psychological damage that they're causing to our kids right now is horrible. We have 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds walking around with masks on. With masks on. 3 and 4-year-olds. They're outside on playgrounds with masks on. Outside. When there's no chance. I mean, so infinitesimal. And these people, they keep saying we're following the science. We're following science. That's not science. It's something else. It's politics. So at the end of the day, yeah, you know, Trump, man, he killed himself a little bit because he says things that are just like somebody's got to stop him from saying things the way that he says them and tweeting things the way that he tweets them. If he could put himself into check and he could say things the right way, you know, it would have been better off for him. But anyway, I'm going long here with that. Let's talk about other stuff. Trump is running for office. He might run again. That is true. Trump, you said that Trump dumped a lot of money into vaccines, and that's the same person to tell Americans not to take the vaccine. And he is the same person. Trump is not. Actually, the Democrats were telling people not to take the vaccines. Remember, they were saying Trump. I don't trust Trump funding these vaccines. So, and I haven't heard him say that. If he said that, I think that's a little strange. Why would Trump fund Operation Warp Speed? Remember, Trump was the guy who was saying that we're going to have a vaccine before the end of the year. And then they ended up getting a vaccine before the end of the year. And now he's telling people not to take it. That doesn't make any sense. I would love to see the news story on that, because I'm actually just rationalizing it out with my mind right now. That is, as the kids say in school, a bunch of cap. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's no way that he funded the research for vaccines, touted that vaccines would be here before the end of the year, then now is coming back and saying that. The vice president is the one who said that. That is completely correct. It is Kamala Harris who came out and said that she doesn't trust the vaccine. That's a fact. She said, don't trust the vaccine. Now they're trying to push it because Trump lost. You know, this is the way things get done. Again, I can understand certain things on both sides. But, you know, whatever. $40. Oh, you got $40 in Dogecoin? Cool. Keep $40 in Dogecoin. At least it won't be too crazy. You know, if it goes down, you know, there's not too much you can lose. So that's good. I would reinvest at 29 cents. You can see as I'm talking here, Bitcoin is going back down, right? So this is, if I flip over to Doge, Doge is doing the same thing, right? Doge is going right back down. And this is what I was trying to tell you guys about. So, you know, when I share these scenarios with you, you know, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, you know, guys, look, it just went straight up and, you know, to the moon, everybody. Look, we pumped right out of that thing and now let's expect it. I can't say that to you because I kind of don't necessarily, we don't know entirely what's going to go on, but what it's doing right now is totally expected. This is what's happening again after it went back up and now it's coming back. It's completely expected that it would happen. But I'm expecting it. So if it goes to 29 cents, by the way, I did not get to reinvest today. When Doge hit 29 cents, I did not, because it went to 29, 9, 8, 7, 29, 8. I was so close, but then it pushed back up into the 30 and then it kept going. So I wasn't able to get into that volume. I was hoping, you know, it would just pull a little bit lower and then I would get in, but I didn't quite get in. So, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Doge doesn't come back to that point again. And the cool thing you'll notice about Dogecoin is it has a massive social support stream. You will see Doge. Yes, Doge will dip more than the other ones, but it will also shoot up quicker than the other ones as well. And Doge did that today. Yes, it went down 10%, but then it shot back up around 12%. The other ones didn't shoot back up 12%. So Doge's support team is pretty cool, but we also have a lot of paper hands and we have a lot of skittish people as well. Those people are being bled out of the system. As this is going on, they're being bled out of the system. So that's a good thing. But yeah, we're starting to see the decline a little bit here. All right. Any questions? I mean, I guess I'll just reiterate, what are we expecting to happen, right? You guys know what the worst case scenario is. You got to have a plan for it. The most likely case scenario is that Bitcoin does drop below the 30,000 mark. It might even hit 29,000, and then it's going to skip up out of that, and that's actually going to be our climb out when Bitcoin hits below 30,000. When it hits 20, 28, 29,000, and it climbs back out. That's the most likely scenario right now. And that would leave Dogecoin dipping down to around possibly 27 cents, and then skipping up out of it, and then we get out of it. That's most likely. I'd probably say that there's a 50-50 shot that happens. The worst case scenario right now, I'd say we have maybe a 25% shot at worst case scenario right now, which is enough of a percentage to talk about it. And then we probably have around a 50-50 shot, maybe, my percentages are off, but who cares? 50-50 shot that, we kind of stumble where we are and we just kind of stay there, and eventually we work ourselves back up. Do you ever do limit orders with Robinhood? No. I always just do it right on the spot. And that's one of the cool things about having a crypto asset is it's always trading. You know what I mean? It's trading right now. I love that. I hate when stocks, like at the end of the day, it closes and then you can't get back in until the next day. I can choose the exact moment that I want to trade, and I try to do that. I try to feel it. I try to feel the market out. I try to feel what's happening. And limit orders are cool, especially if you can't watch it all day long. But usually I'll just watch it. I'll flip it on when I can. Never done a limit order. Can this affect my Social Security income? No. This cannot affect Social Security income. If you're over a certain age and you're receiving Social Security income, no. You still have to claim this though. I mean, I guess if you become like a millionaire or something, but probably not with where we are right now. Thoughts on AMC? Yeah, those, I love it. I love the fact that the people are taking control right now. AMC, I'm a long-term holder, right? So I always think long-term. So when I think AMC, I do the same thing. I don't see AMC long-term, like 3-4 years from now, being what Doge is. I just don't. I see AMC staying right around where it is, if not pulling back a little bit. The reason AMC is going up so much is because it's one of those Reddit darlings. Social media people getting behind it. They're pumping cash into it, especially because they want to kill the short sellers and the people who are betting against these stocks. That's not really a company that I want to get into. I'm not getting into it because of those reasons, but I do like the fact that the people are trying to take control, but I don't see, yes, could it skyrocket up and then kind of stay where it's at? Yeah. But is it necessarily doing that because it should be doing that? No. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Feel what coming? What is coming? Is something good happening? XLM. No thoughts on XLM. Actually, one of my students had bought. There was another stock that just went up. I think it was a pharmaceutical. I'm not really sure. And one of my students actually bought into it. It was crazy. A student that I had from last year. People basically gambling with AMC. Yeah, it's a little bit of gambling. Yeah, I mean, the people would say that about Dogecoin too, by the way. But you know what? Here's the thing too. This is what a lot of people say. They say, "Well, how do you guys have money?" I mean, I tell people, if you buy lotto tickets, right? If you are a lotto ticket buyer out there, every time you're going to put $5 into that, just put it right back into your wallet and put $5 into Dogecoin, because you're you're going to lose your $5 if you put it in the machine over time, statistically speaking. Your $5 in Dogecoin, you're not going to lose it. It's not going to disappear. If anything, it's going to be something really big. So that's what I would say. XLM is parallel to the movement of Doge. Yeah, I'll look into it a little bit more. To be honest with you, I haven't really looked at its movement with Doge, but that would be interesting to see if it's doing that. CBay went up 15% yesterday. I did not know that either. I got 5 on it. Nice. Yeah, everything's still trending down. This is Doge. Is Bitcoin picking up? Yeah. Nothing exciting here. It's just pulling back. You have 11,000 quantity on Doge. Is that enough, or should I buy when it dips? The way that I think about my Doge purchases is by the $1 value. So I don't look at the amount of money I have in Doge. I look at the amount of Doge I own. I'm not going to tell you how many Doge I own, but I want my dollar Doge amount goes up $1, $2, $2, $3, that it's a significant move. So for example, if I only have 500 Doge, right? If Doge goes to $1 and I have 500 Doge, that's $500, that's not really gonna do it. So the way that I look at it when I buy my Doge is, what do I want my Doge? How much Doge do I want to have at $1? So that as Doge continues to mature as a crypto asset, what do I want to see happen to it when it goes to 2, 3, 4? That is going to be different for all of you. And that should be dictated based off of what you're able to put in without setting yourself up for disaster. Okay. Because you can go too far with this, and you don't want to just put everything you have into this. Okay. You can put what you can. And then if tomorrow it disappeared, you would still be okay. It's not going to disappear tomorrow though. So you'll be fine with that. Where do you see Doge in a year? Most likely scenario, 93 cents. I know that's pretty specific, right? I've actually said that in another video. I see it at 90 something cents. And I think I'm being conservative. Some good news that I'm expecting from Doge really soon is the Tesla news. I think that Elon Musk is going to come out with the Tesla news soon. I don't know how soon it's going to be. We'll have to wait and see. But I would expect that to come out. And that's going to be good for Doge. But it's not going to, if Bitcoin continues to have this short selling going on, it's not going to really matter. Even Tesla accepting Doge, it's going to pump it up. There's going to be a pump, which is going to be nice. But what we need is the entire crypto asset market to get back into the bull area. That's what we need. And guess what? People are going to forget about this news. People are going to forget about this DOJ news, which was actually fake, that they hacked Bitcoin. So that's going to go away. So it should pull back up. And people are going to forget the Donald Trump news too. Those are only limited time impacts. The bigger impact is if Bitcoin actually falls into the bear market. That's the bigger one. These news pieces seem to be trying to do that, and the short sellers are trying to do that too. Remember this, I hate to say it's a game, but to a lot of people, this is a game. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to make their money. That's why you're in long term. If you are not in long term, you will get burned big time. Don't get scared. Buy the dips, buy the significant dips, stay in long term. Yep, love to see Doge at $1. Absolutely. And we will see Doge at $1. Dogecoin will be $1. Some people keep asking me about the copycat Dogecoin tokens. Just stick with the OG. Stick with the original. Dogecoin is the original, and the people are behind Dogecoin. So most of the rest of them are going to go by the wayside. They might climb up quickly, but they'll generally fall back down. Doge is the original, and that's going to be the one I think that stays. Can we have our real president back? Oh man, no more politics for tonight. So how do you turn your crypto back into cash when you need it? You sell it. You sell your crypto. I can sell. You can sell, right? If you have crypto, you can sell it and you can get your money. By the way, a lot of people, Robinhood, I like using Robinhood because it's simple. It's not the most crypto savvy application, but a lot of people want to know, the Robinhood, how do you get your Bitcoin? You can't get Bitcoin, or you can't get your Dogecoin from Robinhood, right? Well, Robinhood never had a wallet application, but it is actually going to add the wallet application, which is a secure place for you to put your Doge if you want to spend it. So that's coming down the line. That's, by the way, when that news comes out, that's going to be another good piece of news for Dogecoin. But if you want US dollars, you just sell it. There's a lot of psychology operating in the crypto market. There is. Yes, there is. And there's a lot of manipulators out there. There's a lot of whales out there. Guys, we are swimming in dangerous waters, ladies and gentlemen. These are dangerous waters. That's why it's important to have a community like this. And that's why Doge is so strong, because it has a community like this where people, when they're trying to scare you out, the people aren't getting scared out because they realize the value of Dogecoin. And it has value. If people try and tell you Doge has no value, they are wrong. It is far more immune to inflation than world currencies. It is accepted by many different places now. The people are behind it, and so Doge has value. And by the way, it has a lot of value for third world and second world countries because their currency is terrible. A lot of people in the United States, we so often think about the world in an ethnocentric way, where we look at the world through our own lens. Yet we've lived in a world where our dollar has always been basically pretty decent. A lot of the world doesn't live in that situation. Their money one day can be okay, and then the next day could be just nothing. They need something that's more consistent. Now, of course, the more consistent thing would be the world currency, which would be the dollar. But the dollar, it's not as accessible to them. They can only get it if it comes in. Doge is something that they can rely on a little bit more. So this is going to become a big deal in third world countries. Good evening to you. Do you own Bitcoin? I do not own Bitcoin, and I probably would not. I'm not a really, if I was going to invest in something that was a little bit higher priced, it would be Ethereum instead of Bitcoin. But I have nothing against Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin to do well, because Bitcoin right now is the driver of the market. I don't really like the fact that Bitcoin has so much control on the market. If Bitcoin didn't exist, Doge would be doing way better than it is right now. But Bitcoin is the driver of the market. And if people are short selling Bitcoin, then it's going to affect Dogecoin. Got to know when to hold them, got to know when to fold them. That is true. In this case, hold them. Hold them, hold them, hold them. And hold them. In all honesty, even if Dogecoin goes back to 10 cents, I'm holding it. And by the way, if it goes back to 10 cents, I might try to get myself up to a really significant dollar amount of Doge. I think it's impossible, actually. I cannot see how it's possible for that to happen. But thoughts on Ethereum mining? No real thoughts on Ethereum mining. I'm not familiar enough with the mathematical mechanics of Ethereum mining. All of these different crypto assets have a different means by which the asset itself is mined. Usually there's some sort of mathematical computation that needs to occur, which is fairly complicated and only achievable by using significant amounts of CPU. And each of these systems, they set it up. I'm not really familiar with how Ethereum is effectively doing it, and what its footprint is as such in its mining capacity. I don't really know. I know that Bitcoin obviously has been kind of gotten hammered from it. So I gotta look more into the Ethereum mining and see what they're doing. Just got a 1 cent dividend. That sounds about right. Yep, just as good as a savings account. So as we're talking here, how is the market going? Still trending downward, which is pretty much what we expected. You know what I mean? I'm sure that there's a lot of people. I haven't looked into Dogecoin Twitter right now, but I'm sure a lot of people are just like, "What is going on? Why is this happening?" And meanwhile, we know exactly why this is happening. If I click on Bitcoin, yep, it's and then when Doge sees the downward trend, it just Doge overreacts. But if Doge goes to 29 cents again, if it falls to 29 cents, it's going to have strong support at 29 cents. Really, really strong support. So, if you have a few extra, you could go in there, grab them. What's the deal with these cars they're coming out with that can mine crypto? Yeah, I heard that. I saw that news story. I didn't read the news story, though. I saw the headline. I don't know where I saw the headline. I don't know if it was on Drudge or wherever in the world I was reading it. I saw the headline and I did not read it. But you're saying that it's parked and it's parked and it mines crypto? I have no idea. I got to read more into that. Masters of manipulation or pulling the strings. Press the like button. Yeah, press the like button. Did you guys know? Interesting fact. When I upload a video, there are people who click on my video and I have like a bunch of likes right away, like a lot of likes right away. But then I always get like 2 dislikes within like 15 seconds of uploading a video. So I have people who literally click on the video just to dislike it. As strange as that sounds, it's a really weird thing. But I guess it exists in YouTube all over the place. Really weird. You just bought $1? Yeah, you know what? When you get a little antsy, the cool thing about Doge, just throw $1 in. You know what I mean? You're like, oh man, it's going down. I don't want to put in $50. Just put $1 in. You know what I mean? You could do that. Get that dollar to the moon. You know what? If everybody that was watching it go down put in $1, that could do a lot. How to recover crypto as a part of the estate inheritance. Buckle up. That is right. Buckle up. Be prepared for the worst, guys. Be prepared for the scenario. We know where all the escape hatches are right now, so we're good. Yeah. It's good to be live watching this together here, just what's happening. So, yeah. I'm thinking just watching this, even as I'm here, I'm thinking that our middle scenario is going to take place. And no one can really know. I don't know about you guys, but I've been watching a lot of these YouTube videos where people try to analyze Dogecoin, and they have all these charts and the points of support and flagpole things. And I just look at the way that they do their chart because they draw them up themselves. And it is just so wonky. I mean, I literally saw one today where somebody drew a line of support and just picked any angle he wanted. Literally, I looked at it and he just flat out picked any angle he wanted and pulled out of where a line of support. I had to click off immediately after that. I just couldn't take it. There's no way to exactly predict what's going to happen. And that's why I'm not going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm only going to give you the case scenarios to watch out for and why they might possibly happen. But here's the thing. If the worst case scenario takes place, right, this is what's going to happen. Worst case scenario, Doge goes down to 17, 19 cents. You're going to work your butt off. You're going to get some extra money and you're going to pump it into Dogecoin. Doge might stay around 17 to 22 cents for a year or two, because if it becomes a bear market, that's what happens in crypto assets. It usually lasts for a while. Then Doge, within a few months after the bear market is done, is going to pump up to around $3. And whatever you put into Doge is now going to be $3. That's what's going to happen. It's going to take 3 or 4 years for it to work. But if you're in long term, then you're good to go. Now, we don't want that to happen, and that's worst case scenario. I mean, that's really honestly worst case scenario. But that's the more realistic way to prepare for this stuff, not these fake charts that are happening. Yes, hope for the best and prepare for the worst. That's the way to do it, because if you prepare for the worst and you hope for the best, then you're never disappointed and you always react correctly. You know what I mean? When you go on a plane, right? How many times have you guys been on a plane? And every single time they give you the same exact spiel. Here's your thing. Here's this, right? I mean, how many times has the plane gone down? Never. Never. But you always prepare for the worst and you always hope for the best. Bear. I don't know why that's funny, but a picture of a bear is actually pretty funny. I think I sent off a text to somebody today that had a picture of a bear on it as well. Land of the free, home of the slave. Home of the slave, what? Working for the man? Is that what it is? $25 in tonight. Wow. $25. All right. Hey, putting it in pretty early, I think. But $25. In all honesty, if you put in $25 now, or you put in $25 when it's 29 cents, it actually doesn't really make that much of a difference. I know we always want to get the best deal. Buying crypto assets, like, the goal is always to get it when it hits the bottom. It's like using coupons at the supermarket. It's like, I want to get the best deal just because I want to get the best deal, even though I really only saved myself like 10 cents. You know what I mean? So if you put in $25 now or $25 at 29 cents, it's the difference is pretty low. Not much. Now, when Doge goes to $2, the difference is going to be absolutely significant. Sure, absolutely. Yeah, if it dips down, I think, again, 29 cents, 27 cents is a good one. But if it keeps going lower than that, we are not scared. We really aren't. It's going to be tough to watch the money go down, but that's fine. You enter the amount and watch it a minute. Yeah, I do. I do similar things too. You ever put the amount in and you're watching it and you're like, all right, okay, it's good. Oh wait, no. Now I'm getting less. No. And then you watch it because you want to get more Doge for your more bang for the buck. And sometimes you just got to pull it. I do think Doge can be like a Bitcoin. It can start like this, go up to $37,000 in a few years. That would be nice, right? If Doge went to $37,000, pretty much everyone listening right now would be a millionaire. But I don't think so. I mean, realistically speaking, Dogecoin is not built like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is built to be digital gold, and Dogecoin is not. Dogecoin is built to be digital currency, and so right now, what Dogecoin needs to do is it needs to work out some of its security issues, because it does have some security issues right now. It also has some transaction speed issues. And so it needs some good people behind it, and it needs to make some good connections to make it more, secure in those ways. So, but I don't see it at 37,000, although I would love for that to happen. It's just never going to be there. But realistically speaking, in 5 years, could Dogecoin be 44, 45, 46? Sure. Why not? You don't think it'll have $1 trillion market value? Sure. In 5 years? Absolutely. If it becomes a currency, if it's accepted as a currency in countries and across the 40, 45, I'm lowballing it a little bit. 100? Sure. 105? Why not? 150? Sure. 37,000? Probably not. But I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong on that. The security issues is, so again, like this stuff is, in all honesty, a lot of this stuff, these people who make these crypto assets are like incredibly smart. But one of the main security issues that you have with crypto assets is when somebody double uses a coin, right? So when you use regular currency you can't double use it. So if you go to the store and you buy something with $1, you hand that dollar off to the cashier. That cashier takes the dollar and puts it into the register, and you walk away. But there is a way to double use crypto assets. So you can actually use that coin twice. That's the main security issue that Dogecoin has right now. Bitcoin, by the way, has some security issues too, with about 25% of its floating Bitcoin that's out there. But Dogecoin needs to take care of that. And that's why there was some suggestions that Dogecoin connect with their transactions on the back end with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin security is really good. And that would actually protect Dogecoin from the double use of the coin, which would be a huge threat to Dogecoin. So Dogecoin's got to figure that out. But you know what's really cool? They are figuring that out right now. If you don't think that the founders of Dogecoin and other experts are working together right now, you're crazy. And that's what, some of the people who come against Dogecoin so heavily because they call it a joke or whatever. It ain't going to be a joke. If you think it's a joke, it's not a joke anymore. But give it a little bit, give it a few months, and the upgrades that they're going to make Dogecoin, because there's some super smart people that are getting behind this right now. It's going to be completely solidified. So yeah, is it volatile right now? It sure is. But they're going to fix those problems, 100%. All right, strum through all the questions there, and it's still kind of going on the same trend that we expected. Nothing unexpected here. This is exactly, what we're thinking is going to happen. So we're kind of, I don't want to see this happen, but, we just kind of know what it is. I'd love to see it just jump out of this, but where can Dogecoin be if it got backed up by Ethereum? Wow. Yeah. If Dogecoin got backed up by Ethereum, that would be awesome. I don't think they'll make that announcement anytime soon, because in order to be backed up by Ethereum, there's actually quite a lot of work that they have to do. So it's not that easy to do. They actually, to kind of, I can't really explain it because I actually don't know how to make a crypto asset. But they are actually going to have to they're going to have to create a new system in order for them to do it. So can they create this new system? Sure, they can do it. And they know kind of how to do it, but they're going to have to do it. So if Ethereum and Dogecoin connect, it's going to take them a while. We're talking minimum 6 months, maximum year, maybe 2. And I don't think they're going to announce it until they actually have it completely ready to go. But I do think I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I think that they might do it because I think it's good for Ethereum. It gives Ethereum a little bit of diversification in what it does. And in all honesty, the co-founder of Ethereum is heavily invested in Doge. You don't think these guys want to see Doge do well? Of course they do, because they're invested in it. They're going to make a ton of money. So if the co-founders of Ethereum help the founders of Doge, they're gonna do well. So I think we're a little bit away from it, but I think they will pair up. And hopefully when they do pair up, we won't be in this ridiculous sort of, are we in a bear market sort of a deal? We will be in a full out, straight up bull market. And if we are in a full out, straight up bull market, and the news comes out that Dogecoin and Ethereum have connected and that Dogecoin's security is now backed up on Ethereum's transactions, you're talking, it was going to be insane. It's going to be insane. You're going to be like, oh my gosh. I remember back on June 8th when things were like sketchy, and man, now it's like $8, $9, $12 a share. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be no joke. And then all of a sudden you're going to look at your portfolio and you're going to be like, I cannot believe this. But you need to, the only way to get there is by sound financials. Don't play a guessing game. Don't play the buy sell game. Don't play the get scared paper hands game. Play the smart, ready for any scenario. You know what's going on. You know who the players are, and you know when you're buying and when you're not. My biggest L I've ever taken. Oh, you got it when it was 70 cents. Wow. 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 That was, you bought it very high. Very, very high. Yeah, unfortunately, that was kind of at the moment where people were kind of telling everyone that it was going to go to $1, it was going to go to $1. And that was running on pure adrenaline, that push. And unfortunately, a lot of people who got in during that push, weren't really long-term Dogecoin holders. And so, and actually another good thing, when you see Dogecoin go down, just remember this: every time it goes down, somebody's buying it. Somebody's buying it. So it's consolidating stronger. Every single time it goes down and it comes back up, it's consolidating stronger. So that is a good thing. Vetcoin right now is 10 cents a share. There's so many coins. Vetcoin, 10 cents a share. Hey, you know what? Put some into Vetcoin. Yeah, it's just based off of the name. I haven't really looked into Vetcoin much, but it just seems like it's a Doge copycat. And there's a lot of Doge copycats, but 5 years from now, the Doge copycats are just not going to be a thing. Either Doge is going to be, or one of the Doge copycats are going to take it out. The reason why I don't think one of the Doge copycats will actually take out Dogecoin is because the people are behind Dogecoin. The people have chosen. And once the people have chosen, they're going to stick with it. Do you think Doge will continue in the QFS using Elon's Starlink? Yeah, that's a good one. That, again, that was some news that came out. I don't know who it was who broke that. There was some smart guy out there. Could have been a smart girl. I don't really know. I don't remember. But they suggested that Doge could use Starlink. And if you don't think that they're talking about that right now, you're also kidding yourself, because they absolutely are. They are considering every option right now. And honestly, Elon Musk is one of the strongest things that we have behind Dogecoin, because the guy, he has connections everywhere. Not only does he have his own connections, but he has connections and he has billions and billions of dollars. And he wants Doge to do well. And he sees crypto assets as the future of currency. You know what I mean? So that alone, now, yeah, if they can hook it up with the Starlink satellite system, sure, I think that would be great. I don't know exactly how all that works, but hey, if I ever get rich in Dogecoin, it'll be because of you. Yeah. Hey, we'll talk 5 years from now, because I think if you have a decent amount in there, I don't think we'll be having oh man, worst case scenario, bear market, getting worried sort of a deal. We're going to have a completely different conversation. And then there's going to be new people getting into it when it's much higher. And then they're going to have to deal with some of this stuff. So can you remember the price of Doge when you bought it? Yes, I can. And that's a sad story, because the first time I ever bought Dogecoin, it was hold on, let me get this straight here. 0.0028. Something like that is the first time I ever bought Doge. It was a couple of years ago. And I put like $50, $25, something like that into it. And it ended up buying me like 10,000 Dogecoin in that area for like nothing. And at that point, I was just like, whatever, I just put it in there. But then I only let it sit in there for like a few months, and I sold it because I was like, this is ridiculous. I wasn't really big into the crypto asset at that point. Market, and I just sold it. And then I bought back into Dogecoin when it was like 2 cents, but I didn't put much into it. Maybe like $100, like nothing crazy. And then I bought in at 5 cents, 5 and change. And then I bought in at 6 and change. And then I bought in at 11 and change, something around that area. And then, then it went crazy. And since it went crazy, it came back down. I've bought in at like 20 something cents. The highest I ever bought in was, I think, 38 cents. I did buy at some point when it was 38 cents. So I've bought in at multiple times. And overall, I've done well, because I was able to buy in at the lower points. Um, don't worry, I'm not going to be a Dogecoin millionaire at $1. I don't have that much Doge. I've got I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher, so you can imagine I don't have that much floating money around. And although I have a YouTube channel, it's like, you got to have a really big YouTube channel for it to really do something. So, I have a good amount of Doge. I really do, but I'm not going to be a $1 Doge millionaire. I'm not going to be a $10 Doge millionaire, if that helps anybody out. But I've bought in. So, and I'll keep as I can, but also remembering that I have to take care of my business too, with my family. Your encouragement guidance is helping. Yeah. One of the things that's really necessary when you're in something like this, especially when it's so volatile, is to be a part of a community of people where you can kind of see where everyone else is at and see that they're going through the same thing with you. Because as you guys were watching, and this is really a big statement right now, right? When you guys were watching Doge go down like it was today, I was watching the same thing. You know what I mean? I was right there with you when you guys were watching that happen. And I was right there with you when I didn't sell and you guys didn't sell. I was also right there with you when I know at least one person bought at 29 cents and change. Somebody let me know that they did that. That person may be listening now. I have no idea. So I was right there with you. You know what I mean? And you need a community of people that are going through the same thing and that are sticking with it. They're holding. How much was it when you sold it? Break even. Yeah, I pretty much just broke even. I didn't make any money off of the sale. I just sold it, which was a mistake. Like I think back now, I'm like, why did I sell it? Like it's not like I did anything with the 25 or $50. It was just a complete mistake. I don't know. All your buys from the 30. Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's not bad. I mean, obviously, right now it'd be nice, if it went up into the 40s, because then you would be like, all right, at least I'm in the full-on positive, and that's a good thing. That helps you feel a little bit better about it. It definitely does. Good thing to know though is that Doge has a really strong hold at 30. The Dogecoin holders do not like to see Doge dip below 30. So 29 cents is going to be a massive hold point where they're going to really try to hold it. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. If Bitcoin does do that bearish thing, and I'll switch back to Bitcoin again, if it does do that bearish thing and it starts dipping back down and it dips below the 30,000 mark right here, and it goes below it, it doesn't matter how much Doge love there is at 29 cents. Doge is not, the holders are not going to be able to hold it. It's not going to happen, and it'll go. But that's okay because, again, we're prepared for it. Sadly, it wasn't me that bought when it was 29. Yeah, it seems like a great buy right now, but you know what, guys, there's a decent possibility it might hit that 29 cents again. It's decent. I don't want it to. I really don't. I don't. But when you see the market responding when you see this responding the way it is, you just kind of know. You know what I mean? So we'll hope. Ethereum's responding the same way. I really hate Yahoo Finance. I've been looking for like a nice every once in a while my family's picture pops up there. Yeah, that's my family, by the way. They're back there. I've been looking for a good chart. I haven't really found one that I like. I really haven't. I like that Yahoo here shows me the bars at the bottom so I can see the volume, but I actually just like the simplicity of Robinhood's, but I can't do that one because it has my financials on it. You have a limit buy on 29 cents. Nice. So really, in order for you to buy your Doge, you're going to actually need it to fall to 28 cents because that limit order won't go through unless it hits 28 cents, which is, it is possible. Yeah. Usually I feel it out. If Doge goes down 10% in a day, though, it almost always comes back up. We'll just hope that we're not in that bear market. That's really what we're going to hope for, because right now The news is great, really. I mean, except for this ridiculous DOJ FBI thing, and except for Donald Trump's ridiculous statement, people will forget Donald Trump's statement. That's not going to hold water for long. So those two pieces of news will go away. Other than those two pieces of news, all other news out about digital assets right now, especially Dogecoin, is really, really good. I mean, every day, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum are being accepted in more and more locations. I mean, literally, I can see the news pop up all the time where they're being accepted in more places. So it's always good. Dogecoin's on Coinbase now. Dogecoin is, it can be, there's companies that are allowing it to be, there was a company that allowed it to be shifted into euros and all kinds of things. So it's really great news right now. And there's really great potential, and there's really great people behind this, and there's really great cooperation going on. And we're sifting out the paper hands. So everything's looking good. The only thing right now that's not looking good is the short selling on Bitcoin. That's it. Any guess on Ethereum price at the end of the year? My guess on Ethereum at the end of the year. Are you talking about December 31st or a year from now? If I had to guess, my guess would be between 5,000 and 6,000. That would be my guess. If it's December 31st, between 5,000 and 6,000. If it's in a year from now, 9,000 or 10,000 would be my guess. That's a complete guess, though. I mean, not a complete guess. There's some sort of a logic that I'm actually using in my head, but it's not. I got to put my flag charts together so that I can and put down my line of support that I've seen so often. There's been a lot of chatter in the forced stimulus check. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I'm just telling you, it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. The data does not support a forced stimulus check. What is the unemployment rate right now? 5.8%? You don't get a forced stimulus check when unemployment rate is 5.8%. And I also know that that's not the true unemployment rate, because a lot of people will bring that up as well when I do a video. They'll say, well, Vin, don't you know that that's not the true unemployment rate? Yes, we've heard this every single year for the last 50 years. When one side is in charge, they always tout the really good unemployment number, and the other side always says that's not the real unemployment number. And then when we see a different person in charge, it flips. But it's the number that we've always taken. So yes, I know it's not the real unemployment rate, but it's the one we've always taken. It's at 5.8%. That does not get you another forced stimulus check. It just doesn't. And right now, inflation is bad. You guys know inflation is getting pretty bad, right? And there's always inflation every year, but the inflationary rates are going up significantly more than normal. So when you have unemployment at 5.8% and you have bad inflationary numbers, and you have a lot of job openings, there's no forced stimulus. Not even moderate Democrats are going to go for that. I guarantee you, Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin are not voting for another stimulus. I guarantee it. Even if they tried to do it with budget reconciliation, and you have people out there on YouTube who are telling you that they'll just push through a forced stimulus on budget reconciliation. That is a bunch of gobbledygook, because Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema are not voting for it. And they would need every single Democrat vote. And I don't think they would be the only ones. I actually think there's other people as well that wouldn't vote for it. Never mind all the Republicans wouldn't vote for it. It never allows me to buy on the spot because of the power buy. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, sometimes there is a delay. When you buy any crypto asset or you buy a stock, you always are buying it, and a lot of times somebody's selling it at the same time, and they have, there's only so many transactions that different applications can take. I'm not sure about the power buy, but yes, if you're using some sort of application and all of a sudden, 20,000, buy sell orders come in at the same time, that computer system, it's not like you, because you decided to buy it at 37 cents even, you might be on a queue and you might have 15,000 other buy sell orders in front of you. And once those buy sell orders register out, you might be at 37 cents and something. And usually whenever you buy, it ends up being a little bit higher than what you wanted it to buy at. Usually it's not much higher, but it's something. Do you think Elon will announce anything today when it being Doge Day? I think that Elon, I don't know if he'll make an announcement today, but I think Elon is going to be announcing that Doge will be accepted for Tesla very shortly. How shortly, I don't know. But I think that news is just around the corner. They give out the stimulus check to that affect the stock market. Stimulus checks don't really affect the stock market. If anything, they will give an initial boost to the stock market, because stimulus checks mean that companies are getting money. It's like payday for companies. So if stimulus checks go out, that money goes to businesses. So there's usually an initial uptick in the stock market, but that's short-lived. It's like a sugar high, because then there's penalties to be paid. When you eat sugar, there's always a penalty. So yeah, short-term good, long-term be worried about the inflationary risks. So far, we haven't had to worry too much about it, but the more they keep doing this, the more you have to worry. Cancellation orders due to absurd prices, deflationary. No way they're new Mitch. Okay, trade for the minimum wage. Okay, you guys are having some sort of conversation here. Oh, you're using Robinhood. Yeah, honestly, a lot of people hate on Robinhood. By the way, the Bitcoin and Ethereum users out there, nose in the air, they would look down on Robinhood. Robinhood. Oh, you're using Robinhood? Matter of fact, that makes me want to use Robinhood even more. When people look down on it. Yeah, Robinhood has its problems, just like Coinbase has its problems. You got to pay your fees when you trade on Coinbase and whatnot. And yes, if you are a crypto asset player, Coinbase is the place to be. I'll be honest with you. If you really want to analyze crypto assets, Coinbase Pro is where you want to be. They have the charts in Coinbase Pro are sick. I mean, sick. You can see everything. I mean, you can't see everything, but you can see a lot. And so they would look at Robinhood like, what? Like anything. Like it's the mini miners and Coinbase is the pro level. But you know what? Robinhood is easy. It's simple. It's easy. And I'm not trying to get my life all mixed up around this. I'm trying to have a good time. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to be smart. Robinhood is upping its game. It's getting the crypto wallet soon. Yes, it's had its problems. I will admit that. But you know what? It's been all right for me. What did I see about the wallet and Robinhood will come out eventually? I doubt they will change their... No, it'll come out 100%. They're working on the wallet more than they're working on anything else right now. They're preparing themselves for that. 100% that's going to happen. And by the way, that'll be good news for Dogecoin. And it'll probably spike Dogecoin up a little bit. Wow, look at this spike in Ethereum. Boom. What just happened? Did Bitcoin spike? Wow, look at that Bitcoin spike. Did Doge spike? Yeah, with a little downturn. Wow, something happened. That is, I don't know what that is. That is a financial investor. That is some big company getting involved there. That's a massive spike for all three to go up like that. Pretty significantly. Wow. I'm surprised. Somebody dumped a whole ton of money in there. That's interesting. Whenever you see somebody dump a ton of money in like that, you always kind of think to yourself, why did they do that? What do they know that I don't know? You know what I mean? Do they know something's going to happen? Do they know something's going down? I usually like to see spikes like that because I like to feel that people with that kind of money, and by the way, the kind of money that was just dumped in right now is sick money. Like crazy amounts of money. Like people who are living on yachts kind of money. I always like to think to myself, what in the world do they know? Because I don't see this sustaining. I really don't. I see it coming back down, but maybe they know something. And hey, if they're willing to pump their money, if somebody's willing to put in 100 mil or whatever they just put in here, then if they're willing to do it, my $50, you know. You know what I mean? And so I see it still trying to fight up here. A lot of people are trying to fight this down right now for some reason. The short sellers are trying to fight it down, but it seems like they're trying to fight it up too. Doge is probably, Doge is all right. I mean, hey, anyone commenting about this? Like Robinhood a lot more than Coinbase. Yeah, they charge you a fee on Coinbase. When you trade on Coinbase, you gotta wait a little bit in order to get your money back. Robinhood don't do that. I understand that Robinhood doesn't have the bells and whistles. I mean, I understand that Robinhood doesn't have the wallet yet, but it will. Short covering before naked 3-day requirement. What? I'm not sure that is. A short covering. Oh, you're saying that you think a short is covering. I don't know. Maybe. But whoever did it has a lot of money. Whoever did that, whoever influenced that to me was not like 50,000 people all making purchases at the same time. That was a massive purchase that hit all three at the same time. And maybe even other ones. I don't really know. And it looks like they're trying to pull it down, but they're not really getting so successful at pulling it down. But everything, Ethereum is actually seeing the worst dip from it. Everything in me tells me that I would expect it at least to do what it did. Not maybe as severe, but I would expect the downward to continue. I mean, I'm fully expecting that. I'm not necessarily expecting that it's just going to keep going up. That's not my expectation, but that's good because you don't want to have the expectation that it's just going to keep going up because when it doesn't, you're going to get disappointed. But when it does, you're going to be like, yeah, this is awesome. You know what I mean? So we'll be prepared for that. We are prepared for that. Cool. I like to see that little spike there. I like to see somebody putting a lot of their money in with me. It's always a nice thing. Depending on the bid-ask spread and the amount of coins bought, the fee on Coinbase can be better. Yeah, that is true. That is true. And it also depends on what application you're using and exactly how they do it. That is possible. You're right. It depends on how much you're putting in and what kind of buys you're doing. I think most average people though, if they buy on Coinbase versus Robinhood, you're probably gonna do a little bit better with Robinhood. I think most average people. I'm not 100% on that, but had a friend buy on Coinbase the other day, and it took him a little while to pay that fee. Coinbase main is robbery. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. If you wanna trade on the crypto asset elite, can you analyze REAU? Viralita Finance. It's a Brazilian DeFi that helps dogs. That's interesting. I would have to write that down. Yeah, that's kind of the cool thing about the crypto asset market is a lot of these cryptos are specifically made. I'm not exactly sure what this one is here, if it's in the same market, but I can at least talk about crypto assets. They're made to specifically support different groups. You know what I mean? And that's kind of a cool thing. Where do I see Doge 3 years from now? 3 years from now, I would see Doge at, I would like to say 20. I'd like to say it's at 20 3 years from now. But that's in all honesty, I have to backtrack here. It's kind of impossible to tell, obviously, because if Doge is accepted on Amazon at that point, and Doge connects with Ethereum, and Doge becomes completely security solid, and it's basically mainstream, and countries are now accepting Doge, and it's if that happens, then $20 is a drop in the bucket. It's going to be its market cap is going to be multi-trillions. multi trillions. So 3 years from now, I don't know. I if that happens, then I'm way underdoing it. It's so hard to know. Do you think Robinhood will charge a fee like Coinbase as well as Robinhood Wallet? Yeah, that's a good guess. I would hope they don't, because that's basically they do so well. Robinhood has like 13 million users right now, and the reason they have a pretty good following of and you're basically your entry level traders, the people who want to be simple. And I'm a simple guy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a simple man. I love to come home. I hang out with my kids. I love to eat some pizza. You know, have a good, go out to the ice cream store. I'm not a complicated man. Robinhood does well because it keeps things simple. And if it wants to stay simple and support the masses of especially entry level people who don't want to get too complicated about things, they got to keep the fee away. And Robinhood, it was so funny when I was talking about how Robinhood has no fees to it. I had so many people trying to tell me that Robinhood had fees to it. Like, I use Robinhood. Like, I know it doesn't have a fee to it. Robinhood makes its money in the same way banks make their money. So any unused balance that's in your Robinhood account, Robinhood will be able. Robinhood has a huge balance of money, you know, hundreds of millions of. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know what their spreadsheet looks like, but it's got to be hundreds of millions of dollars of unused balance, right? They invest that. That's what they do. They invest it, so they make their money like a bank. So they don't need to charge fees. Yeah, Robinhood is free. Yep. By the way, if you want to use Robinhood, I got my link in the description below. You can use it. You don't have to use my link, by the way. You can go to your phone and click on the Play Store and the Apple, whatever. I use Android, but if you use Apple Store, you can use that too. And you do not have to use my link. Trust me, the free stock that they give me is not worth it. It's like a $4 stock. It's stupid. It's really dumb. Like, I just put it there because some people, it's easier for them to do it that way. But yeah, and it's free to open it up. You know, so evidently Doge ETH bridge is in the works. Yes, it is in the works. 100%, making sure that there aren't any 1.21 impacts. Many months away. Source is on Twitch. That is interesting. Now, I haven't seen that source on Twitch, but I don't even need that source to tell me that that is what's going on, that they're doing that. You know, and sometimes when you say, you know, is this, you know, when you see a bump like this, right, on the chart, is this a short seller covering? I don't know. Is this somebody who knows something getting in? I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, I would be, it would actually surprise me more if Doge and Ethereum don't make a connection than if they do make a connection. I would be far more surprised if within the year there's no connection. So you gotta love the fact that that they are doing that. What's the guy's name? The co-founder of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, right? Vitalik Buterin. I saw, you know, you see Vitalik Buterin. He was on like the podcast the other day, and you just look at this guy, and I don't want to judge people by their looks, but he just looks like a guy who knows how to make crypto assets. He just has that look. Like, this guy looks like he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm excited about that connection, and I think it's happening. I really do. And that's why you got to go with Doge. You can't go with the copycats. The copycats don't have the connections. The copycats, they just don't. They didn't make it. Vitalik Buterin is invested in Dogecoin. The co-founder of Ethereum has millions of Dogecoin. You think he doesn't want Dogecoin to do good? Of course he does. He's going to make a boatload of money. And he wants to be where the people are. Everybody does. You know what I mean? You don't want to be left alone. So he's going to absolutely work with Dogecoin on this. So it's cool. Glad that you shared that, by the way. Sheikh Juarez. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's really cool. Just that sort of confirmation. Timotheus, gotta love eating some of that New York pizza. Absolutely. There's nothing like New York pizza, especially if you live out in Montana. If you live out in Montana, I don't think there's anything like New York pizza. Yeah, New York pizza is great. It's one of the best, one of the really good things about being here. You know, unfortunately, the taxes are high, income taxes are high, and we have King Cuomo ruling us over here. And that guy, oh man, I don't even understand why we listen to him anymore, to be honest with you. This guy, King Cuomo sent sick COVID patients into nursing homes. I mean, the the I can't even think of the word. I can't even think of the word to say. This guy did this. And then not only did he do it, but they covered up the numbers. And he said, "Hey, if they die in a nursing home, if they died over here, what does it matter?" Are you crazy, Cuomo? Are you crazy? And we still listen to the guy. He gives out advice and we still listen to him. I don't know. I'm convinced. I'm thinking about putting in at least $100. Is now a good time? Like you said, wait until it spikes back up. You're feeling it, huh? You're feeling it. I don't know. Look at this. So we had that big investment in, and now it's starting to draw back down. This is kind of what I would have expected it to do. I would have expected it to kind of come back down. Listen, you got to stick to your guns. For me, my guns are 29 cents because Dogecoin has a huge amount of people who like to support that 29 cent mark. But again, if Bitcoin dips below $30,000, it doesn't matter how much Dogecoin support there is at 29 cents. It will break through. It's just a matter of analytics, statistics, and logistics. It's going to break through. It's going to go lower. If Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin is the whale that will determine that, not Dogecoin. All the news for Dogecoin is good right now. But yeah, 29 cents would be my first marker. If Bitcoin goes under 30, if Dogecoin hits 24 cents, then that would be my next marker. And then if Bitcoin keeps going down, and then if it does, then we will officially be in that bear market that we've talked about, then 19 cents. And then Doge will simmer around 17 to 22 cents for a year or two. That's, by the way, worst case scenario. So if you're plugging in right now and you haven't been listening the whole time, what I'm talking about right now is worst case scenario, not what we're hoping for and not what is likely to happen. But you need to be prepared for those things. I wish the Dogecoin holders the best, but 10,000 Dogecoins are mined every minute, so it's pretty common coin. Yeah, so here's the thing. Dogecoin, a lot of people will say that Dogecoin's no good because too much Dogecoin is mined, and so it's not valuable enough. The reason why that statement doesn't hold up is because Dogecoin is not trying to be Bitcoin. Bitcoin is digital gold. Dogecoin wants to be digital currency. In order to be digital currency, you need to have a supply that the masses can use. Just like they continue to print off dollar bills by the trillions, Dogecoin needs to have a far bigger supply than Bitcoin does to be digital currency. And Dogecoin currently can only mine, what is the number? It's like 4 billion per year, something like that. It's like 4 or 5 billion per year. That is a good number. 4 to 5 billion per year is the cap on Dogecoin. It can't go above that. So if that's the cap on Dogecoin, guess what's going to happen as the years go on? The inflationary rate for Dogecoin every single year will go lower. If anything, Dogecoin is not printing off enough. 4 to 5 billion per year might not be enough for digital currency. There's no way to really know that because think about it. You think 4 billion is a drop in the bucket compared to what the U.S. does. How much currency does the U.S. print off every year? This year, what are they going to print off? 6 to 8 trillion. So if you hear somebody tell you that there's too much Dogecoin mined every minute or something, don't listen to that nonsense. There's 7 billion people on planet Earth. 7 billion. How much Dogecoin is in? How much Dogecoin is in around everywhere right now? I don't even know what the number is. You can look it up. I don't have my phone on me, but if you're on Coinbase, you can look it up right now. It's out there. I'm estimating that it's 50 billion, something like that. Say it's 50 billion. How much Dogecoin can every person on planet Earth get if there's 50 billion Dogecoin floating around? It's seven Dogecoin. Guys, it's not a lot. Mining that much is not a lot. No politics, please. Yeah, politics are tough. That's one of the reasons, too, why I'm doing Dogecoin. I was planning on maybe going a little bit more political with the channel, but then I'm like, Politics is so draining. I just don't want to be upset every single day of my life. And talking about Dogecoin is so much better. You have the feeling that Tesla will eventually accept Dogecoin. Yes, we've been saying that. I think that Elon Musk is going to make that announcement very soon. I don't know how soon it is, but it's as soon as tomorrow and throughout the summer. That's my guess. From now until the end of summer. 28,000 Dogecoins at 40. Whew. Yeah, 40, it's tough. But you know what? It'll come back up. Even if you hit the Doge, if you hit the crypto asset bear market and it takes a couple years, because if we hit the bear market, it will take a couple years. We're hoping we don't. It will come back up. And so, you'll be fine. Doge needs more coins for worldwide use. That is a fact. It's a digital currency, not digital gold. Still holding 500,000 Doge. Wow. Wow. Arkham, jealous of you, my man. 4.1% in 2021, but only 3.9 in 2022. Dogecoin inflation will be 3.5, 3.0. Nice. Sheck Juarez with the information. Now, Sheck, I cannot, and everyone listening to me, look at Sheck's numbers right now. I cannot verify his numbers because I am not doing the math right now. But what I can verify for you is based on pure logistics, the fact that Dogecoin is capped annually, that the inflationary rate of Dogecoin must in fact go down every single year. So I can't verify the specifics, but I can verify the trend, which is something that world currencies don't do. So there's 130 billion Doge, 130 billion. That's fine. Yep, no problem with that. How much U.S. currency is floating around? Do you know how much U.S. currency is floating around right now in the United States? I could only imagine. 50 trillion, who knows? We're talking 50 trillion versus 130 billion. You know what I mean? And that's just U.S. currency in the United States. There's way more than a 1 trillion. Way more. Yeah, so no worry on the amount of Doge that can be mined. Can you mine Doge on your laptop? If you want to mine Doge, the way that you have to do it, the guy who set it up, who was the guy? He used to work with Adobe, I think, who set up Doge. And the way that he set it up is that your computer needs to solve complex mathematical formulas. So if you have the type of computer system that can solve the complex mathematical formulas that need to be solved, yeah, you could mine some Doge if you wanted to. I don't know that a normal laptop can do it. That I don't know. But I kind of doubt it. I don't really know though. I haven't sat there. I haven't mined it. But you know what? Maybe it can. Maybe some of the laptops out there can do it. I don't really know. 37 trillion. Is that the real number? Is it 37 trillion is floating around right now? U.S. printed 18 trillion over the last year. Yeah, that sounds about right, by the way. So when people are like, oh no, there's 4 billion Doge that are mined every year. In comparison, I think Elon Musk sent out that tweet, that like the stupid little character whose eyes are like, off to the side. Like when the U.S. government hears that Doge is, it's just not, it doesn't matter. Nobody's worried about how much is being, oh, look. It's fighting back up. It's fighting back up right now. I like that. I wonder if Bitcoin's doing the same thing. Yeah, Bitcoin's doing the same thing, right? And Ethereum. It went down. Now it's kind of coming back up. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe something's going on, It's always good to hope something's going on. Shek is saying you can only mine with script with... ASICs, yeah. Unmineable. Mining pool that uses the GPU to mine Ethereum pays out on a bunch of coins. Okay. Yeah, when these guys set it up, and that's one of the things. When you set up your crypto assets, you kind of, once you set it up, it's pretty much, it's done. It pretty much goes at that point. So, yeah, some of these are harder to mine than others. And then as you mine them, it's built within the system that the mining process gets harder. I think that's one of the problems that Bitcoin's having right now because Bitcoin is limited, obviously. So it takes so much to mine Bitcoin. There's 1.2 trillion dollars of U.S. currency in circulation. Um, maybe, definitely not printed. There's no way. Impossible. I mean, maybe in physical dollars, maybe, I don't know, because the United States just passed a stimulus. How much was the stimulus they just passed? They passed a $2.3 trillion stimulus. They passed an $800 billion stimulus. Just this year alone, they've printed more than 1.2 trillion. So maybe that's physical cash. Maybe people just have money using credit cards and stuff. That might be it. I don't really know. But when you count the amount of floating U.S. currency, it actually has to be more than just the physical cash. It has to be the digital U.S. Dollar amount as well, if you want to call it digital. I love that Doge has people thinking about the realities of monetary policy. It's good. You can, I'm learning things tonight, so you can learn some things on this. You bought 1,000 Doge at 58 in India rupee. At 58 in India rupee. Every once in a while, I look at what the rupee is to the dollar, because I watch a guy who goes to India, and he on YouTube, he looks at some of the scams in India and stuff. And sometimes he buys things, and I want to know how much it's really costing. So, and you put that down 3 times. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what at 58 in India rupee is. Oh no, yeah, Doge. Again, if you're a Doge investor, you need to be a long-term investor, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be long-term. You cannot be in this in the short game. And when I say long-term, you're looking 3 years down the line minimally. If you're looking for less than that, if you're looking for the quick dollar rush, I would say get out. Look at some of my recently viewed here. Plug. Yeah, I used to own Plug. I owned Plug back when it was really cheap. Super cheap. Should have held on to that one. But I didn't. The new studio. Yeah. The newest thing on the studio is Doge on the moon over there. When I put that moon pic up there, right? When I first set up my whole system here, I've got a bunch of things. I've got some lights over here. I don't have the lights on, but I set up the mic, the arm that I got, and the different stuff, and I put some of the stuff out here. By the way, I'm a teacher, so I got this map. I got that map from school. I never thought that I'd have a Doge to the rocket on the moon, but you know what? It was meant to be. That picture of the moon back there was meant to be, because I was always meant to put Doge back there. So. To the moon. It'll go back up, I think. Yeah, no, yeah, Vin, love the news. Yeah, okay, good. Subbed and nice. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, you got to be real. You can't be hyping. And I like to watch a lot of these other Dogecoin guys. I watch some Dogecoin people as well. I'm not subscribed to any Dogecoin people yet, but I kind of flip around and I watch some of them. Some of them, it's a little hokey for me when they do the charts and stuff. It just, I like the guys who kind of just talk about the news a little bit and just give a little bit more of the background insight, some of the more factual stuff. Some of these guys are pretty good at it. It's always good to have a good community. Back to 32. Nice. Yeah, right. It skyrocketed up, right? Someone dumped some major cash in, and then it wanted to pull back down. And now it's going back up again. So I'm thinking, are there people out, and when we say prepare for the worst case scenario, even when you see this, still prepare for the worst case scenario. But when you see this, maybe somebody knows something. Maybe they know something. Maybe they're getting some news and they're gonna pop it out. Who knows? Yeah, 5 years. Absolutely. I'm keeping mine for years too. Absolutely. Where are you from? I'm from New York. Yep. As a teacher, in order to basically make a living, I kind of got to teach here. My wife and I have looked elsewhere, because, the taxes are really high here. The real estate taxes are ridiculous. School taxes are ridiculous. Income tax, it's all crazy. But, they don't really pay teachers much anywhere else except for the Northeast and the West Coast. So every time I want to move, I can't. But if this YouTube channel, if we get a bunch of Dogecoin followers here, because stimulus isn't going to last, because stimulus is going to go away. If you've been in my channel for a while, you know that I done a lot of stimulus, but Dogecoin is going to last. If I get a bunch of Dogecoin followers, if the YouTube works out, then I can move maybe. I don't know. You got to really have a lot of views in order to make money with YouTube, just so you guys know. It's not, you got to really be up there. But some people do well with it. Sell your Doge and buy Ethereum. Yeah. Listen, I am not against Ethereum. I like Ethereum. That's why the co-founders of Ethereum and the founders of Dogecoin are working together. So if you want to buy Ethereum, I think that's fine. I think by December, I think Ethereum's 6,000 at the end of December, and I think by the end of the year, I think it's 9 or 10,000. So, but I also think Doge is going up too. I think Doge has more potential than Ethereum. I think Ethereum is more secure and less volatile. I think Doge has more potential, and it's very well connected right now for being what it is. These charts are all the same, no substance. Yeah, in all honesty, it's you can only take, there's only so much you can really know. That's why it's better to be prepared for certain outcomes rather than trying to do like fake predictions. Be prepared for certain outcomes, because we don't know honestly what's going to happen. We really don't, but we can be prepared for the outcomes. And that's the better way to do it. And then also you just support each other, right? So you support each other. And that's a big deal. Dogecoin has huge support. Huge. There's so many people that are behind Dogecoin, which is great. Long haul, play your crypto for profit. I mean, that's the only way to do it, right? We're all looking for profit. I mean, that 100%. Not looking to lose money. Do you mess with any stocks? No, I've bought some stocks. I've definitely bought some stocks. Here's the thing with stocks, though. Stock market is not as fun. It just isn't. Could you imagine me having a nightly live meeting about Ford? Having a nightly live meeting about Lowe's? So how was Lowe's today? It's the stock market is good. You can buy some good stocks, steady stocks. Some have the small dividends. They can year to year they go up. Good ones a few percentage points, and some of them can be steady. You'll have your down markets and your up markets. But it's just not this Dogecoin. It's got a dog. It's got memes. It's got Elon Musk. It's got fun to it. It's got a community. So Doge will be 1,000 in 5 years. I wish it would be. I really do. You know what? Maybe. Who knows? Probably not. Monetize it so we can donate when you do. Monetize what? Oh, yeah, I do. I think this is monetized. I think this live one's monetized. And then I monetize the other ones. But you need a lot of views. Like a lot. Do I do mutual funds? I don't do mutual funds. No, I don't. Compounding interest. Yes. Just the words mutual funds makes, like when I say it, I feel old when I say that, mutual funds. Like that's something like, I don't know. I want to stay in something fun. Do I invest in other coins? Yeah, this has been asked a few times. I don't. And here's the reason why I don't. Not because I don't like other coins. I actually do. Every time I've reinvested in crypto assets now probably 10 to 12 times. And every time I reinvest, I always reinvest in Doge. That's my problem. It's like you go to the supermarket, right? And you want to buy ice cream. And you're like, I'm going to go get some ice cream today. But then you end up and you always go get the same ice cream. You're like, I'm going to get something different this time. But then you don't. That's my problem. Would I invest in other ones? I would. I like Ethereum. I really do. Polygon. I like Polygon, which is Matic. I like that one. Cardano. I like Cardano. I like what those guys are doing. But every time I just Can you turn on super chat? I don't even know how to turn on super chat. What do I do? Do I click this button? Live chat, top chat. It shows you how much I actually do this. Oh, it's got a money side. Insert ad. Oh, that's funny. I can insert an ad. Create highlight video, add stream marker, share. Yeah, I'm not even sure how to do that. I'll have to learn, for next time, and do it. Oh, so I can see how many viewers there are. There's 44 of you on. Oh, okay, cool. So throughout, I'm sure we've lost some people throughout. This has been a long live stream, way longer than I thought it was going to be. It's in my YouTube settings. Okay, you have to set it up. Okay, yeah. So I'll when we end this live stream, I'll look to setting up the super chats, and then I guess with the super chats, you can like ask a question or something, and like you can like donate like $1 or something, right? Something like that. So maybe I'll do that. Is it in YouTube settings? Okay, good. Largest Doge. Oh, okay. So you have a few. Doge, ADA, Ethereum. Oh, SafeMoon. SafeMoon, nice. Hey, listen, you never know, right? You never know. SafeMoon. It's possible. If you have a little bit of money, you put it in there, You do the same. Yeah. So, I mean, somebody mentioned SafeMoon before, and they asked, I said, hey, if you got $100, put in a SafeMoon, and then just watch and wait for 5 years. Something might happen, maybe. I don't, I don't think it's as definite as Doge is, but, it's a possibility. All right. So let's take one last look at these charts here, and then we'll probably call it a night. Litecoin. Yeah, I'm not big into Litecoin. One of the, honestly, that you bring up Litecoin, one of the issues I think Litecoin's going to have is I think Litecoin actually supports the back end of Doge right now. I think that there's some connection there between Doge and Litecoin. And if Ethereum and Doge connect, that might hit Litecoin negatively. Now, that's not everything for Litecoin. Litecoin's pretty cool, but that news alone, my money wouldn't go into it. But I'm not saying it's bad or anything, for teachers. Yeah, I'll try to do. Yeah, see, I think I didn't even think about it. I'm gonna definitely have to look it up. Matter of fact, this is only the second live stream I've ever done, and just kind of figuring out how to do it was a little bit of a project on the off time that I got, between mowing the lawn and jumping on the trampoline with the kids, which is their favorite, to jump on the trampoline with them. So cool. Yeah, no, I enjoy it too, especially, at night when you're seeing the chart move a little bit and you want to pop on and see what's going on and just kind of hear some thoughts. It's always good. It's always good just to connect with someone who's watching it with you. Because if you're not, you're up at night and it's like 11 o'clock and you're watching the chart and you're going, what is going on? Why is this happening? Come on. You get onto the live stream and then you're just like, okay, people are seeing the same thing. And so I'm expecting that Bitcoin is doing the same dance. Yep, they're all doing the same dance. And this is another reason why, when people, are negative on Dogecoin, like, oh, Doge is doing the same thing Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing. I mean, they're in lockstep with each other here. Is Doge a little bit more volatile? Yes. Does Doge's dips dip down more? Yes. Do Doge's spikes spike up more? Yes. It's because there's more potential with Doge, and it's less matured. But something seems to be happening here. Something seems to be going on in the last 40 minutes. I'm not really sure what it is. I hope something comes from this, by the way. I hope this does happen, But if it doesn't, that's okay. We're still ready for it. So, all right. I would like to know where to get the best info on crypto besides you. Yeah, so would I. I don't exactly know. There was one, I don't know the names right now of specific crypto channels out there. There's a few guys that I have watched when it comes to Doge. I haven't really found anyone that I'm like super like excited about. Like in all honesty, when it started going down, I clicked on a couple of guys that were out there and it wasn't great. Like I was hoping that they were going to give some practical information, but there wasn't. But there is one out there that's pretty big and does a pretty good job, but I forgot the name of it. And I watched like a little bit of a video and didn't subscribe. So I'm going to try to find out which one that was. And Stacy, have a good night. If you're still there, have a good one. And I'll find out what it is, and then I'll try to share it with at another time. All right, I might have to call it a night too because man, it is 11:30 and we started this a while ago. So you guys have been awesome. In all seriousness, thank you so much for being a part of this and for checking in. We're gonna make this thing a little bit more Doge Millionaire. All right, I'll try to check that guy out and see what he's all about or she. But thank you guys for being with me here tonight. You guys have been awesome. Enjoy your day tomorrow. We'll be watching Doge together and be seeing what's going on. But I think you guys are all pretty prepared for whatever happens, in this short term. But in the long term, we got to figure it out. So, all right, everybody have a good night. Hannah, thank you. That's my daughter's name, by the way, Hannah, but with the H at the end. Everybody have a good night. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Later.